And welcome to the Citizen Report. I'm John DeShannon, and thank you for joining me tonight. As always, this newscast is real in-depth American. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always good to be back with you. I'm doing this show live tonight. It is kind of another test, but I do have a lot of information to pass along to you. And while I'm here, got a new development from Project Veritas, and also President Trump has sent a message, a very clear message that is. So I think it kind of signals that the things that we've been saying and other people have been saying for a number of months now might very well come true in some form. I'll get to that in a little bit. And of course, we'll have our Bible verse segment at the end of the broadcast. And I said this is a test. For live shows going forward, I'm going to reserve those for more just in-depth kind of things for the most part, or maybe for breaking news and things. But just suffice it to say that tonight, because we're still kind of upgrading things, mostly software speaking, we've got that finished now. But we've been making some upgrades in terms of software. So I made some further changes. So that's why I want to run this as a live broadcast tonight. So first thing I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to play for you a video from Project Veritas. It is actually of the CBS owned and operated station in Detroit, where this meteorologist was actually basically did the same thing Ivory Hecker at Fox 26 in Houston did, basically out her own TV station for bias, or she used the word discrimination. I think I'm not entirely sure the nature of what she means by discrimination, but she decided to do something rather similar to Ivory Hecker. Now we see that there's this trend starting of people starting to become whistleblowers against the corporate media or corporate news. Now, corporate news, by the way, I'll just say, is kind of an oxymoron. Corporate and news. Corporate kind of implies propaganda. News is supposed to be truth and factual. So I think we are starting to see signs that people are reaching the precipice and they're no longer going along with the corporate media. So without further ado, I'm going to play this for you. Now the audio is a little low on this, so I'm going to have to bump up my volume here considerably. Hopefully it comes through okay. And now I'm going to play this for you. So here we go.
Good evening, and thanks for watching Verse Forecast. I'm meteorologist April Moss, and happy Father's Day. Today we saw temperatures above normal again, topping out at 85 degrees at Metro Airport. Plenty of sunshine today, but all good things must come to an end, and that starts as early as tomorrow morning with showers moving in around 8 a.m. And speaking of a brand new week, I will be sitting down this week with Project Veritas to discuss the discrimination that CBS is enforcing upon its employees. Tune in to Project Veritas for my full story. Now, later Monday, we will see those showers continuing through late morning, but by evening, we'll see dry conditions and more comfortable temperatures as well.
So you can see there, she did it quite brilliantly, I'll say. And by that, I mean she starts her, she's a meteorologist, okay? And she starts her weather forecast, and then she kind of just nonchalantly says, "Oh, I'm going to go and I'm going to go on Project Veritas and talk about how bad the mainstream media is." So that's pretty brilliant, if you ask me. And something tells me that the TV station did not see this coming. So good for her for being quite strategic in exposing CBS. And we know CBS is in all the deep state media, they're just completely corrupt. So good for her, that meteorologist, for doing that. I have a feeling though she won't be employed by them for long, if she even still is. And speaking of employment, I do have an update to the story concerning Ivory Hecker at Fox 26. So this is, let me share my screen. And by the way, let me just say that one of the improvements we made that I just implemented on here is now I can share my screen without you seeing all the ridiculous software stuff in the background. So this is definitely a lot cleaner, so you can see it transitions much smoother. So I just wanted to say that in passing. But let me click on this link or this photograph so you can see what she said. This is Ivory Hecker, and again, just a reminder, this is the first woman that did the report, or did the basically expose Fox Corporation to Project Veritas. This is the first woman. I didn't want to conflate the two, so I just need to clarify that. Now, Ivory Hecker, as I said, received this letter, and this is dated June 18th. I'm not exactly sure when she received this, but she did post this on Twitter today. So this is brand new stuff. It says, "Dear Miss Hecker, reference is made to the employment agreement dated August 28, 2019, as amended the agreement between Fox Television Stations LLC or company and you. This will confirm that pursuant to paragraph 19B of the standard terms of the agreement, your employment with the company has been terminated for cause effective June 15, 2021. And it's signed by the Executive Vice President of Legal Affairs at Fox Television TV stations. Now, Ivory Hecker says this. It says, she wrote, "This letter showed up at my door, making my termination official. Corrupt Fox executives are circling their wagons to cover each other's dirt while firing journalists who refuse to worship a corporate news narrative, who refuse to be forced away from the principles of journalism." And she's exactly right. And it looks like she said something else here. And this is the first time I'm seeing this one, so let's go ahead and read it right now. She says, "The principles of journalism state that our first loyalty is to the citizen. Our first obligation is to the truth. The goal of journalism is to provide people with the information they need to be free and self-governing. That's what my journalism school degree taught, at least." And she's exactly right, because if you look at this, look at what she just said. She said that as a journalist, she's supposed to be loyal to the citizen. So, and basically what she's getting at is the corporate media is not loyal to the citizen. And I will take it one step further. They are loyal to somebody. The corporate media is loyal to money. Money, money, money. And the deep state has a lot of it they can shovel at these media outfits. And obviously the deep state is ultimately loyal to Lucifer, frankly. And that's what we have. And I've been saying this regarding Biden, that he was put into place, he has his handlers, and behind his handlers is a principality. I don't think a lot of people really get that, but it's true. This is not a war of flesh and blood, but of principalities. That's what it really comes down to. So, and I think that there are people that really have yet to really fully understand that. It really is a spiritual war that we face. And of course, Jesus already won the war, but we're dealing with the battles. Again, Jesus already won the war. We're dealing with the battles. Okay? So I just want to be very clear about that. So, now let me talk about something else here. I'm going to go back. I know I'm kind of flipping back and forth here, but I wanted to say that first. Now I'm going to go back to that CBS 62, and I say that I mean CBS in Detroit, that other woman that basically outed her own company, mainstream media company. She's now come forward to Project Veritas, and I'm not going to play the whole thing, and I haven't even watched the whole thing myself yet. I'm just going to play the first minute, give or take, of it, because I think it's pretty compelling in that minute, and I want you to go watch the rest of it after the show, because I think it's very, very important. So let me share my screen, and now I'm going to play this.
It's not about me. They have no idea what it's like to be burdened with this and feeling like I'm watching my country disintegrate. And if I don't stand up and do something when I'm able to, I just don't know that I could live with myself.
You're not just a meteorologist, you're interviewing some pretty heavy hitters here. Gail King, what's your reaction to what she said there?
When I hear fake news, I never think it applies to us.
I just think that it's a shame because over the last couple of months, I've seen personally that there have been stories that CBS has run that were proven to be fake.
One of those stories that Project Veritas actually witnessed here.
Cherry Health now admitting that staffers were in the line of cars presented to the CBS network.
Well, we knew they were coming. We had no clue that we were going to have to do fake patients.
We are supposed to be the people that bring light to corruption. So basically, they're going to use the power of all of Viacom CBS brands.
Is this journalism?
I don't think that this is journalism at all. I think that this is propaganda being pushed on people.
Why would you do that? You know, basically, that's the most selfish thing I've ever seen.
I was hoping there would be a change.
No,
because
there's not gonna, the only change is going to be, you know, on our weekend weather person. That's the only change.
All right, so I want you to go watch the rest of this, as will I, after this show. Now, I want to be very, very clear that did you catch what was just said by CBS? I want to pull that back up for you, because he just said something, and this is the chief engineer at CBS 62. He basically just admitted what the mainstream media is all about. Okay. I hope you can see this on your screen here. And let me take this full, actually. Maybe this will work. Well, I don't know. Maybe I should just do this. Hang on just a second. All right, there we go. Maybe you can see that better now. So she's on a phone call, it looks like, with CBS 62's chief engineer, basically. And she's basically saying, well, I hope there would be a change. Well, let me back up. He basically says to her, that's the most selfish thing I've ever seen, which is so ironic in of itself. But then she says, I hope there would be a change, to which he then said this. And I don't know if you caught this, but this is utterly profound to me. He says, quote, and this is, again, CBS 62 saying this, quote, the only change is going to be, on our weekend weather person. That's the only change. So basically, he just admitted to everybody that they're not going to change anything. They're going to keep it going with their propaganda, and that's that. They don't have any remorse, folks. They really, really don't. CBS and all these other mainstream media outfits, they're completely unrepentant on their propaganda. And I don't know if you caught it in that video, and of course I encourage you to go watch it in full after this show, but CBS has been caught putting out fake footage and attributing it to basically being, shall we say, the 19 thing. I can't say the word because it's YouTube. But I find it very interesting that we're getting these reports now of people exposing the mainstream media, and it makes me wonder if there's other whistleblowers waiting in the wings. Looks like I've got a comment on here. I'm going to read it live on air here. It said, hey Josh, nice to see you. Joshua O'Brien writes, oh my, dude is live. What's up, brother? Josh and Colby here. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. I'm going to probably do a live show probably once a week going forward, because I like doing it. I like doing it pre-taped, and also like doing it live. I like the interaction and things, so it's pretty cool. So anyways, but now I want to share this with you. This is, looks like John Solomon put this out. So let me fix one thing here before I play this. Now this is a short clip, but I think it's very profound. Now a lot of people have been saying that the 17 poster is completely debunked and all this stuff. Well, I'm saying, look, we have to be discerning, yes, but I believe there's more reason now than ever before to believe that it's legitimate, because we're now getting information that the plan, shall we say, might be moving forward. I have to kind of be careful what words I use. But this is what, of all people, Donald Trump said. This was literally put out just yesterday. I don't know exactly when this interview was put up, but suffice it to say, it's pretty profound stuff. And I'm just going to let you hear it from the man himself. So let's play this.
No, I never admitted defeat. We have a lot of things happening right now. I think that was an election that was, I don't think, all you have to do is read the newspapers and see what's coming out now. No, I never, the word is concede. I have not conceded. No, I never admitted defeat.
Okay, so let me say that again, just in case. I know the volume was a little on the lower end, but Trump basically says he never conceded, which is what I've been saying. He never actually came out and conceded. On January 6th, they had that whole debacle, and I think we're starting to learn that the clowns in a certain lettered agency was basically framed. people and in Washington. I can't really get specific about that, but Trump basically came out and told people to go home in peace, and now we're hearing that he said, I never did concede. So this is purely hypothetical, but what if, and I don't mean to give people false hope here, we trust God and we trust God alone, but what if Arizona, the audits are concluded, and then we learn who really won there was not Biden? Okay, what if we learn that Trump won that? What if we find out that Pennsylvania is doing their own audit, and Wisconsin, and Nevada? And let's take it even a step further. What about North Carolina? We've heard reports that North Carolina wants to do some kind of checking of its stuff. And of course, Trump did officially win North Carolina, but we know the clown in the governorship by the name of Cooper just so happened to win that despite the fact that Trump, won. So I don't believe for 1 second that people voted for Trump and then voted for Cooper. So I think we're going to see a domino effect, and not just in the presidency, but in a lot of other different areas. It's purely hypothetical at this point, but I find it very interesting what Trump said there. And we'll have to wait and see what happens. I think we're going to start to hear things about Arizona very, very shortly now. But I did say at the beginning of the show this is going to be a short broadcast tonight. However, if you've been watching for a little bit now, I now do a Bible verse segment at the end of each show. I just started this, so there's, I'm not that good at it yet, but I'm going to try to get better at it as time goes on. But today's verse I want to bring to your attention 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 7 through 9. And let me just say before I read this that in my first semester at Liberty University, I had a teacher actually send this scripture to me, and I guess she felt led to send this to me, and I cannot tell you how prophetic it was, because all kinds of crazy stuff happened in the months and years that followed. That was in 2019, of course. But this is what that scripture says. It says, "But we have this treasure in earthen vessels, that the excellency of the power may be of God and not of us. We are troubled on every side, yet not distressed. We are perplexed, but not in despair. Persecuted, but not forsaken. Cast down, but not destroyed." And then verse 16 of that same chapter, it says, "For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day." So I think that verse should be an encouragement to all of us, because I know that in the months after I was given this verse, these verses, I had all kinds of tragic things happen. I lost my childhood cat, and then my mom had a major stroke, and then my dad got cancer, and then he died. So, I've had to battle a lot of depression. So these verses have really been an encouragement to me to not give up but keep going. So, and I think we have to remember that we're not promised a life void of trouble, but God promises to always sustain us and not forsake us. So I hope that is an encouragement to everyone watching this, that that God He never abandons us. He knows those who are His, and He will sustain us if we trust in Him. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with everybody, and and again, this is a brand new feature here on the Citizen Report, and I'll find ways of making this a little more intuitive as time goes on, this particular segment that is. But I hope this has been a blessing, as I said. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here. As I did say, this would be a short broadcast tonight, but I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Joshua and Colby, for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's great to see you in the chat there. So by the grace of God, I will see everyone back here next time, maybe this weekend. I'm not exactly sure when. Don't forget my website, citizenreport.tv or thecitizenreport.weebly.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Gab. I would say Parler, but I've been having issues getting back into that account. So I'd like to, as I've been saying in recent shows, please keep me in your prayers. My battle with depression continues, but I'm getting on the upside of that, I think, overall. But this is, Father's Day was a little rough, but I'll make it through. So God bless each and every one of you, and thank you for watching the Citizen Report. And I'll see you right back here again next time. Have a great night, everybody.